Hi everybody, it's Christina from Crafty Paws. This is my entry into Colbeys1981's 1000 Subbie challenge. She's asked folks to design a card in a non-standard size or shape, and I decided to do a ribbon pulling card. So this is the functioning card, and then to put it back in and the ribbon goes back in. That's the card. And I did another card for a different challenge with the same image, but I've never done one that's a ribbon pulling card. And one of my subbies said that she loved this idea of my little dog saying, you know, why, what lipstick, Mommy, I didn't take your lipstick. And then inside there's another picture actually, but it's a tag that says the proof is in the pudding, and there's actually a little picture of a poo that's red that proves that he actually ate not my lipstick. It was actually a watercolor pencil, but I thought it was really funny. And one of my subbies said she loved it, so I was going to make this card for her. But I'm going to show really quick how to make that ribbon pulling card. It's one that I learned from Veronica Chambers. She's fantastic. And basically it just requires 2 pieces of paper, a scoreboard, a hole punch, and some ribbon. So I'm going to go through the quick steps. First, you'll need a piece of cardstock, and it kind of has to be a little hard because it's the outside of the envelope. And you need it to be 6 1/4 inches by 8 1/2 inches, and then you take your scorer and you measure in 1/2 inch on either side, and you score along those areas. Oops. And then you also score at what was it, 4 1/4, and then you turn it and you score again on one side only, this time at 1/2, and you reinforce those score lines. Make sure you get those nice and tight. And because the paper is kind of a thicker cardstock, it's important that you actually burnish and get those folds done well. Then you clip the corners. Oops. So you'll be able to do that well. And then you take this bottom flap, what would be the bottom flap of the whole thing, you cut 1/2 of it off. So you only have the bottom flap. You don't want it to be extra thick, so you cut 1/2 of it off, as I'm doing, not so well. And then just to make the card be able to slide in and out easily, you also cut that little bottom at an angle. So this is the card that you have for the outside, and basically you will take those 2 sides, fold them in, and fold this side in, and you put double-sided tape or some really strong tape on this side and on the bottom, and then you'll fold it. Of course, I didn't fold it perfectly straight, but you get the idea. And then you take any punch you have, any shape. I mean, the circle is an easy one, and not the side that has the bottom, but the top that's open. You cut a half circle or whatever other shape you decide to use. I should have probably measured, but I'm going to eyeball it. Ooh. Whew, that was tough. And you'll get that kind of a tab at the top. And then you'll take a small hole punch and punch at the bottom, but not connected to the half circle. And that little hole is where you would put your ribbon through. And you just put the ribbon all the way through the whole thing. This isn't going to quite work because, of course, I've mangled the edge of the ribbon, so it's not going through the hole very easily. There we go. So if that's your pocket, then you take another piece of cardstock, and now this has to be very thick. And I decided to use an extra decorative trim. I've lined it with some pretty coordinating color paper. But you can just have a plain card and decorate it any way you want and put any kind of sentiment that you want in it. But it has to be a kind of a rigid piece of paper because this is what's going to push the ribbon down. But that's your envelope, that's your ribbon put through, and this piece of cardstock should be a little bit smaller than the envelope size. So if it's about 3 3/4, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe 3.5 inches. This is 3.5 inches by 5 3/4. And you push it down, and that's your ribbon card. You pull it up, and then you push it down. And this is the final product. I hope you like it. Give it a try. I'll put the dimensions for the 2 pieces of paper and the ribbon length and all of that, all the materials in the description. I hope you like the ribbon pulling card, and if you can, please join me and participate in Colby 1981's challenge. It's a lot of fun. Thanks.